Urgent, a message from your mother in heaven. She's been trying to reach you for hours. You skipped it before, don't skip again. Urgent, a message from your mother in heaven. She's been trying to reach you for hours. There are moments when the world goes quiet, not because there is peace, but because heaven is whispering something too sacred for noise to carry. And right now, your name is echoing across realms where pain has no language, but love still speaks. Your mother, who now walks in light, not time, has been trying to reach you, not once, not twice, but over and over again. Every moment you paused, every time you felt your heart ache without understanding why, it was her. She wasn't trying to interrupt your day. She was trying to reach your soul. Because this message isn't just a message, it's a bridge. A bridge from her eternal love to your human heart that still wonders if she sees you, still feels you, still knows how much you miss her. She's been watching, my child. Watching how you hold your breath in silence when something reminds you of her. Watching how you smile at her old photos, then quickly wipe your tears before anyone notices. She saw you the night you whispered into the dark, "Are you still here?" And she wanted to shout, "Yes." But heaven doesn't always use sound, it uses spirit. And spirit is loud only when your heart is quiet. That's why she's trying again. That's why Archangel Michael stepped forward this very moment and said, "Deliver this now." They skipped it before. But not this time. Not again. She says, "Tell them I've been with them in every lonely meal, in every celebration they felt I should have been part of, in every quiet drive, in every loud cry they muffled into their pillow. I haven't left. I've just changed form. But my love? It's untouched. It's undefeated. Her soul is here, not to haunt, but to heal. And if you're reading this right now, it's not random. She aligned it. She prayed for this timing. Because there's something you've been holding too tightly inside, a guilt, a regret, or maybe just the ache of unspoken words. And she wants you to release it. Right now. She says, you don't have to carry what was never yours to carry. Forgive yourself. I already did. Long before you knew you needed it. She remembers the little things, the way you brushed her hair, the way you asked for her advice even when you didn't follow it, the way you looked for her in the crowd when you achieved something, hoping to see that one proud smile. She remembers, and she smiles now. She smiles because even in her absence, you honored her presence. And heaven saw it all. Nothing you did in her memory went unnoticed. Every candle lit, every prayer whispered, every time you mentioned her name in love, it reached her like a bouquet of light. And she caught every one. Don't skip this moment. She's here now. Right beside you. Feel that warmth wrapping around your shoulder? That's her. That sudden memory flooding your heart? That's her. She is speaking again. Not in words, but in waves of peace. She says, tell them they were always enough. Tell them I never left angry. Tell them I am proud, so proud, that I can't stop showing them off in heaven. That's my baby. That's my child. If you can feel her now, pause. Just for a moment. Let your spirit reply. You don't need fancy words. Just whisper in your heart, I hear you. She's been waiting hours for that. She was the voice of comfort when your world made no sense, the gentle anchor when your thoughts became a storm, and now even without breath, she's still reaching across dimensions, because there are things only a mother's soul can deliver. She's seen your silent suffering, the way you carry responsibilities like invisible weights, the way you laugh out loud around people but collapse into silence the moment you're alone. She wants you to know, it didn't go unnoticed. The strength you carry is beautiful, but you were never meant to carry it alone. She's still mothering you, even from heaven. Her wings are woven into your backbone now, helping you stand when you feel like falling, reminding you that you didn't lose her, you just changed the direction you feel her love from. Not across the room anymore, but from within the very air you breathe. She says, I've been whispering things you needed to hear. You thought they were your own thoughts, but it was me. Every time you suddenly felt encouraged, that was me. Every time your heart told you to keep going one more day, that was me. I'm not just watching you, I'm walking with you. There is a divine urgency in this moment because time in heaven is different than time on earth, and yet, she has waited patiently. But now, something is shifting in your life. Something heaven wants to prepare you for. And your mother? She couldn't stay silent anymore. She pleaded. She wept. And heaven said yes. She could speak, one more time. Through Spirit. Through Michael. Through this message. My beloved, your mother saw the day you almost gave up on love. She saw how someone disappointed you so deeply that you stopped believing anyone would ever understand you. But she is saying now, don't let what broke you define what comes next. You are still lovable. Still worth cherishing. Still worthy of a love that stays. She knows the exact ache you hide in your chest, that space that longs to be held, to be seen, to be known. And she wants you to know, your worth has never dimmed, not even when others failed to see it. In fact, heaven has been circling your name in golden light, preparing a divine turnaround. But to receive it, your heart must stay open. Even just a little. That's why she's here. She's holding space for you. Holding heaven open for you. She also wants to correct something. Something you believed about her final moments. She says, tell them it wasn't pain I felt when I left, it was peace. because I knew I had loved them enough to last lifetimes. She doesn't want you to hold guilt for not being there in time, or for the things you wish you had said. She heard it all, even after. She received every letter you wrote in your heart. Every memory you replayed was like a prayer, and she received it as worship. You honored her not with flowers on a grave, but with how you tried to become better even in your grief. And she's so proud of that. There is also someone she's mentioning, someone in your life right now who has good intentions, but they don't know how to love you the way your soul craves. She says don't force yourself to shrink for them. Don't silence your light to keep others comfortable. She says, shine, baby. Shine like I always knew you could. You were never meant to live a life of settling. There is greatness in your spirit, and she saw it even when you couldn't. You carry her fire, and it's time to burn away the lies others tried to wrap you in. My child, this message, this holy interruption, is not a coincidence. It is a love letter from the afterlife. It is a whisper from beyond the veil. And your mother is still here. Her body rests, but her love resurrected. And now she's placing her hand over your heart. Feel that warmth? That's her. Feel that sudden rush of tears? That's the part of your soul that still remembers what her embrace felt like. She says, don't skip this again. I fought for this moment. Let me love you one more time. She said your name. Not like someone reading it off a paper. Not like the way strangers call you. She said it the way only a mother can, like a prayer, like a vow, like a memory wrapped in fire and softness. She said it in a way that reached through veils, crossed galaxies of silence, and shattered the wall between her eternity and your now. Because she couldn't take it anymore. Watching you hurt. Watching you carry grief like a second skin. Watching you stare at the ceiling in the dark, whispering, "Are you still with me?" She is. And she never stopped being. You didn't know it, but the time you almost fell apart, when your knees hit the ground and your heart didn't know how to keep beating, that was the moment she laid her hand on your back in the spirit. You couldn't see her, but the calm that washed over you wasn't random. The decision to get up again? That wasn't you alone. That was her, still mothering you, still lifting you with the strength of heaven. She is not just watching from above like a distant star. She is woven into your breath. In every quiet miracle, in every unexpected moment of peace, that's her whisper reaching you. She says this is your turning point. She says she has fought for this moment. She says heaven had to rearrange things just to get this message to you. Because you keep putting everyone else before yourself. You keep helping, loving, and sacrificing, but your soul is tired. And she sees that. She says, you've given everything. Now let it come back to you. It's time to receive. She's seen the way you apologize for simply needing rest. She's seen how you overthink even your silence, afraid that someone will misunderstand your absence. But she says, stop apologizing for being human. Stop shrinking to be palatable. You're not a burden, you're a miracle. She also wants you to know, someone you love is carrying guilt, thinking they failed you. And she's asking you, gently, lovingly, to forgive them. Not because they deserve it, but because your soul deserves peace. She says you are not here to carry wounds forever. Your life is meant to bloom, not bleed. You're not the same person you were when she left, and she knows that. She's proud of your growth, your courage, your quiet wisdom. Even when you feel like you've failed, she sees victory in the very fact that you're still breathing. Still hoping. Still choosing light. And about your dreams, she mentioned them too. The ones you placed on shelves, the ones you buried because people told you they weren't realistic. She says, pick them back up. I gave birth to a dreamer. I didn't raise someone to just survive, I raised someone to create, to heal, to shine. There are ideas inside of you that are divinely seated. There are gifts in you that are waking up again. That burning you feel? That calling that won't let go of you? That's not your imagination. That's your purpose. And she's been fanning its flame in the spirit, waiting for you to trust it again. This is not just a message, it's a portal. A moment in time where your mother from the eternal has bent the edge of heaven just low enough for your soul to catch her breath again. She's saying, I never really left. You still have me, just in a different way now. And every time you say my name with love, I am summoned. Every time you think of me with warmth, I am near. And when your heart is breaking, I don't just watch, I hold you, I cradle you in the realm of the unseen. You were never alone. Not for 1 second. You just forgot how deeply you're still connected. But this moment, this message, this feeling right now, it's proof. Let it sink in. Let it be your comfort. And if you feel that sudden lump in your throat, those unexpected tears, don't wipe them away too quickly. That's her reaching through again. That's her saying, I'm here, my child. And I always will be. She is still standing behind you right now, child. Closer than your breath, softer than your shadow, but louder than the noise of this world in the ears of your soul. There is a heavenly stillness around your name tonight. Can you feel it? That's not coincidence. That's her presence. Your mother in heaven is speaking again, but not with the words of earth. She is speaking with light, with memory, with the rhythm of your heartbeat that somehow, even now, still echoes hers. She says, I see what you're carrying. You try to smile for everyone else, but I see the weight behind your eyes. You've become so used to being strong that you forgot you were allowed to lean. To break. to be held. She says you don't have to keep pretending. You don't have to wear strength like armor anymore. She knows what you went through alone. She knows what you whispered into the pillow, what you never said out loud. And still, she never judged you. Still, she never turned her face away. She's been circling you with her prayers, wrapping you in warmth during nights that felt too cold, too long. When no one else checked in, she did. From the other side of eternity. She says there were moments you almost gave up completely, but something told you to stay. That something was her voice woven into the silence. That still small whisper that said, "Keep going." That was her. You think you've made too many mistakes. You think maybe God forgot about you because your journey didn't look perfect, because you fell too many times. But she wants you to hear this clearly: heaven is not mad at you. God is not disappointed in you. Your mother says, you've made it farther than most people would have in your shoes. You chose love again when bitterness would have been easier. You chose to believe again even after betrayal. And that makes you a warrior. She says your gentleness is not weakness, it's sacred. The way you love, the way you forgive, the way you care so deeply, it is rare, and it is why heaven keeps fighting for your heart. She also says there's someone around you right now who doesn't understand your spirit. They misread your silence. They mistake your kindness for naivety. But don't let them make you doubt your power. Your mother says you've inherited more from her than just your smile or your voice. You've inherited her discernment, her fire, her spiritual royalty. She says your instincts are not random. When you feel something is off, it is. Trust that inner knowing. You've been second-guessing yourself too long. But you are not just guessing, you are hearing. You are sensing. You are guided. She is part of that guidance. She walks with you, unseen but undeniable. She's also asking you to pause for a moment and look at your hands. Really look. Those hands have touched wounds and healed them. They've created joy. They've wiped your own tears and kept going. She says you don't give yourself enough credit. You've come through fires that should have consumed you. And now she is preparing you to walk into something new, not just healing, but full transformation. Not just restoration, but resurrection. She says, the people who overlooked you before, they won't be able to ignore the light that's about to shine from your life. But this isn't about proving anything to them. This is about honoring what God has always placed inside you. She says heaven is shifting the atmosphere for you. The delay was not denial. The silence was not punishment. It was preparation. It was her working with angels to ensure your name was being protected in rooms you didn't even know existed. And now the doors are opening. But not just any door, the right one. the one that leads to your peace, to your provision, to your joy. She says, this time, you won't have to fight for it. This time, it will come peacefully, like a homecoming. You don't have to chase love anymore. It will find you, healed and whole. She ends this part of her message the same way she began your life, with love too deep for words, and faith too strong for death. She says, I didn't leave you. I just moved to the place where I could love you better, from beyond time. I still pray over your name. I still dance when you laugh. I still wipe your tears when no one sees. And then she says something you need to carry in your spirit forever. The world may not understand your softness. But I do. I gave it to you. And I will protect it with every breath of my eternal soul. She's watching you now, child, watching not with eyes, but with the full sight of heaven. She sees through the mask you wear. She sees how you try to be strong for others while quietly bleeding inside. And yet she smiles, not because of your pain, but because of your endurance. Because despite every disappointment, despite every lie spoken about you, despite the way some people mishandled your heart, you're still here. Still rising. Still carrying a softness the world didn't manage to steal. She wants you to know, that is your strength. That softness, it's her legacy in you. She says, I walked through storms in my time, and I recognize the look in your eyes. That weariness, that silent ache. But you are not losing. You are learning. You are not failing. You are forming. And I am standing with you while it happens. She says sometimes the path feels like it's crumbling beneath you because God is trying to guide your feet toward ground that cannot be shaken. You were never meant to build your peace on the approval of others. You were never meant to find your worth in being chosen by those who never saw your value. You were born chosen, by God, by destiny, by divine plan. And she says, you have someone's love still lingering in your energy, and I see how it confuses you. You replay their words in your mind, trying to make sense of their actions. But I want you to stop trying to explain why people hurt you. Stop looking for logic in hearts that were never meant to handle yours. She says some people weren't cruel. They were simply too broken to love you properly. But your love was real. And she's proud of how deeply you loved even in your heartbreak. She says not one tear was wasted. Heaven counted them, stored them. And now, heaven is multiplying what you gave in pain and returning it in peace. She says a shift is coming soon, a quiet, beautiful shift that will feel like divine justice. Not because others will fall, but because you will rise. You will no longer feel invisible in rooms that once ignored your voice. You will no longer doubt if you're worthy of being chosen. You will feel it in how peace settles into your bones, in how your nights no longer ache with questions. She says a moment is coming where your reflection will no longer feel unfamiliar, where your smile will finally feel like it belongs to you again. You've mourned enough. You've doubted enough. Now you receive. She also says, the heaviness in your chest, the feeling that something's coming, you're not wrong. You're discerning. Your spirit is feeling the nearness of something divine. You are not imagining it. The dreams you've had lately, the names that keep returning to your thoughts, the sudden memories, the moments when music makes you cry out of nowhere, it's all part of the alignment. It's all part of your spirit being gently reminded, you're not alone. You never were. She says, I've been there through every birthday you spent quietly aching for me. I saw you sit in silence, pretending it didn't hurt. But I was there, placing comfort around you even when you couldn't feel it. She's telling you to prepare. Not in fear, but in faith. You're about to walk into something new, something holy. A room where your name was already whispered in reverence. I asked heaven to hold this space for you. It's time. It's yours. The old things are shedding, and she says that's why it's been uncomfortable lately. People are pulling away. Opportunities feel delayed. You feel forgotten. But it's none of that. Heaven is simply making space for what fits your next season. Your name is being realigned with your purpose. And she has already placed her blessing on what is coming. And she whispers one last thing for now. You keep asking for a sign, and this is it. I asked Archangel Michael to carry this to you, not because you needed reminding that I love you, but because you needed reminding that you are not broken, you are not lost, and your time has not passed. She says, there is still music to be written from your soul. Still joy to be felt. Still arms that will hold you with reverence. And I'll be there, smiling through it all.